So I recently had a guy comment in the comments down below and ask about what I felt about progressive overload training. Now, progressive overload training is a pretty common practice. You know, every bodybuilder, every weightlifter, everybody out there knows if they lift weights that they've got to get stronger in order to gain more muscle. But the misconception around this usually is around rep ranges, okay? A lot of people think that in order to gain muscle, they always have to be in the 5 rep range or 6 rep range, and once in a while go to 10 reps, and then always stay in this kind of range. And then when you see it extreme with a lot of beginners and stuff like that, they're always trying to try their maximum lift out. They're trying to look for their PR, like the 1 rep max. They're always saying, oh, I lift 300 pounds on the bench. That means I've hit a certain level. And ultimately, 1 rep maximums are totally unnecessary when it comes down to building muscle growth. And if anything, they become more a liability than something that's positive. Okay, so once your joints and your ligaments and tendons are all nice and flexible and everything's working fine, a 1 rep maximum won't be a problem. But once you get stronger, and sometimes the little tweaks and little things that happen in the body that are unseen, 1 rep maximum doesn't give you the latitude to be able to make a mistake. You know, if your form just deviates just for a moment and this and that, and then bang, you're tearing something or pulling something or injuring something. Progressive overload, is it necessary? Yes, progressive overload is necessary, but you can also apply progressive overload to different rep ranges. It doesn't have to be always in the 5 rep range. It doesn't always apply to the 1 rep maximum. It can apply to the 15 rep maximum. It can apply to the 20 rep maximum or 50 rep maximum. I recommend that people experiment with these different rep ranges in their training, and by doing so, you will find the sweet spot for you. So when you watch all my videos, you notice that the range of motion I use or the rep range I use is always about a sweet spot. I'm finding what is the optimal torque curve for me to gain muscle with as little stress on the joints or stress on the parts that I don't want to hit as possible, okay? So I'm not locking out. I don't really want my elbows to take all the stress. You know, I'm not trying to put undue stress on the body that is not going to contribute to muscle mass, okay? And that may be different for me than you. So that's why I'm saying you figure out what's right for you. So with progressive overload training, apply it to different rep ranges. Don't feel compelled to stay in the 1 rep range or 4 rep range or 6 rep range. You'll notice that sometimes if you train 1 rep range too much, you either get injured or you actually get weaker. It doesn't really even help. Also remember that 1 rep maximums have a lot to do with coordination. They're not necessarily about how much muscular strength is there. A lot of times with 1 rep maximum, you're basically trying to have perfect coordination so all the muscles are firing at the right time in order to make sure that weight lifts. But does it mean the actual tensile strength in the muscle is stronger? Probably not. Just because the weight or your strength goes up by 10 or 20 pounds doesn't necessarily mean that the muscles got stronger. It just means that you got more coordinated in firing them in the proper order, so that way you're not trying to balance. That's why they always call it finding your groove. To find a right groove, you can actually lift more weight, but it doesn't mean you're stronger. It means that you're more coordinated. That's different. It doesn't mean that the muscles are actually able to pull or contract harder, okay? You know, this depends on what your definition of strength is, but most people are concerned about what everybody else thinks and, you know, achievement and all this kind of stuff. And what is this person over there in the bench? You think about me because I'm benching more than him, you know, that kind of stuff. But ultimately, if you want muscle mass, you throw all that stuff out the door and you start experimenting. And you will find that sometimes the rep ranges that you've been using for a long period of time and they've worked great, sometimes just changing it to a different rep range for a bit and starting to vary it up, you'll notice way more muscle mass gains, and you'll notice that perhaps your body will thank you because your joints may feel better, you might feel more flexible in a different way, you know? So don't be afraid to change things up. So yeah, progressive overload, yes it works, but don't be afraid to apply it to different rep ranges. So on a side note, I'm thinking about making an MP3 for you guys of a whole body workout. So it's something that you can actually just put on your phone and listen to me, and I'll just take you through exercise by exercise on a given workout. And it won't be that expensive. It'll be, you know, a few bucks really. I don't know exactly. I haven't really thought about how much I'm going to charge for it, but I'm interested in hearing from you whether that would be something that you guys would be interested in, you know, and if there's anything particularly that you would want on an MP3, okay? And how long you'd like it. Would you like music in there in between, or would you like more of just purely instructional, you know, that kind of thing? So if you are interested in something like that, comment down below and let me know what you think. So I hope this video helps you, and take care for now.
Do it your way.
Now you know my name. Calling me in a drought.
I came to Ridge in 215 and sorted it all out.